Hi guys, this video is sponsored by Red Shadow Legends. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description to download this game to your mobile phone or PC. This is a huge mobile MMORPG with truly deep lore to break down your team Hydra heads. This limited edition change
you die to get in again. We are so far from you. Burning on, just like a matches, try to incinerate the lives of everyone you know. What's the worst to take from every heart you break?
Hello, thank you so much. Thank you so much for invitation. Happy to be here. Happy to help out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for Jack. My community have a lot of questions in regarding to the NFT, the functions and things. I did watch your explanation on the videos and how it works and things, but unless you know, you don't know. And for me personally, I actually didn't know until I minted some of the NFT and experiences for myself. So Jack, hi Jack. I'm gonna go ahead and invite you as a co-host.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear your experience with the. Did you take part in the launch right away?
I did. I was actually out when it's launched. It was 4 p.m. my time, so when it's launched, I was out and about. I didn't get to do it until midnight Central Time Zone. So I think that the C rank has already increased by quite a bit. Plus, when you first come in, when it first launched, the gas fee was quite expensive as well too. So that was another reason why I didn't do it.
Yeah, the GUI didn't shoot up as much as we initially thought, but we can see that the activity right now is it's pretty high. If you go to ultrasound.money, we are top burner on the leaderboard by far. So people are minting. That EAA is declining as we speak. Very interesting.
Yes, it is very interesting. Hi, Jack. Welcome, and welcome everybody to the room. If you have any questions for Jack, you can either request a speaker later on once we go through the foundation of the XENFT and, of course, the technical and functional part of it and how it's help Zen Crypto as the project overall. Then you can come up as a speaker. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and type your question on the chat, and I'll read it and then bring it up to Jack and Sensu to answer it for you. So for those that don't know what Zen is, Sensu, do you want to give an overview of just the Zen project, how it bring crypto back to the original Bitcoin foundation, and let somebody know how to acquire it, and then we can go ahead and cover XENFT after that.
Sure. So Zen is a universal cryptocurrency, a new one that is building a community with like-minded people. And we are bringing back the first principles to blockchain where it belongs by building a protocol with only 400 lines that lives up to the principles of decentralization, peer-to-peer value exchange. Sorry, but I just need to put my mic here. 1 second. Now it should be fine. Yes, peer-to-peer value exchange, decentralization, and we self-custody. And we feel that this crypto project is something that has had an explosive growth. And this is due to the fact that I think it resonates with a lot of people, especially in the kind of situation where we are today. We have this amazing technology of blockchain, but we've drifted apart from the intention the fact that this technology allowed us to transfer value peer to peer between individuals, and more of the industry has started to resemble something that looks like what we try to get away from in the first place. So with this protocol, we call it proof of participation. You opt in, so to speak. You connect to the protocol, straight with the protocol, without any counterparties in between. And you claim a rank, and then you choose your mint term. So, and then you come back at that term and then claim your mint. So it's quite interesting because it allows, it's very simple. We removed the unnecessary barriers for people to enter. First of all, it's a free mint. You don't pay anything for the token. You mint it for free, plus gas, plus time. So we remove the unnecessary barriers for people to enter crypto and learn about these fundamentals. So it's very interesting because it has had a very rapid expansion in the cryptoverse already. We started to deploy the protocol on Ethereum, and now we are on 10 different chains. And what we recently did was we made our second creation, which is the so-called XEN torrent. And this is a protocol that interacts with the underlying XEN protocol. And this allows you to mint XENFT, which is basically a batch minter of multiple C ranks, so multiple interactions with this XEN protocol, and then encapsulate this economic energy into an NFT, which you then instantly can trade with. So this is something that and this is only also 2,000 lines of code. So with very lightweight protocols, we can move very rapidly across the cryptoverse and go to multiple chains. So we're not our own chain. We're a protocol that wants to be an inclusive community. We want to bring all the chains together. We want to break down the barriers, both for people to enter crypto that's not in crypto today, because we have to remember that only 5% of the human population is in this amazing technology today. So the real challenge that we're trying to tackle is, how do we solve that adoption problem? How do we make people come into the space in an accelerated growth? And the way we go about this is that instead of focusing on pumping this industry or this project with dollars and cents, we try to pump it with population instead. So the number one metric that we're trying to have as a guiding star is, how can we, in everything we do, make sure that we have as rapid expansion as possible in terms of population more than anything else. And XEN in itself will only achieve its value through adoption of population. So that's sort of the we can talk about all these different dynamics in general, but that's sort of the elevator pitch if you have a high-rise building.
I think that's pretty much cover a lot of things. And personally, you know, when I was introduced to Zen Crypto as a project, it didn't make any sense to me until I go in and mint some myself and understand it. So this is what is truly a proof of participation, because I can't explain this to people and say, oh yeah, you go mint it and pay some gas fee, and they just kind of look at me, what are you talking about? Until that person experienced just so much like the XENFT itself, because I didn't understand it at all. Why would one burn 250 million coins just to get a XENFT? Until I get there, minted, see how it works, that is when the light turn on. So Jack, the floor is yours. I would like for you to sort of just cover the why do you feel that XENFT is going to be a utility, not only, but also a functional NFT for not just the Zen community, but also for crypto as a whole?
Hi guys, very good to be with you again. Thanks for inviting me. So Let's have the conversation about XENFTs and what they're all about and why we decided to launch them. So, as my good friend Zen Su explained very well what Zen is all about and its primary principles. What we're really striving is we're striving to build a community, but also give utility to Zen. So Zen is just a very simple ERC20 token that you can mint with gas, and you can create what we could imagine Lego blocks or any sort of building blocks that come to your mind. From that point, what we need in the community is the utility for the building blocks to build out a thriving ecosystem that can use Zen. And even though XENFTs in their core are calling on to burn Zen, it's not necessarily that the Zen's economic energy disappears. It simply converts from one state to the other. So you have something that's very abundant like Zen. It's in a hyperinflationary community building phase. And now you can convert it into another asset that can give you an option to trade your future mints as well as participate in collectability of the NFT itself. And as you probably know, if you have seen them on the OpenSea or looked at them on our website, there's only 10,000 Apex category NFTs. So there won't be any more like that. Then we have limited, and those are limited by time. So it's the year of the rabbit right now. And after 2023 is over, that type of limited NFTs will no longer be produced. And then there's the collector NFT, and the collector doesn't require any Zen burn at all. What it can do for you as a user is give you an ability to pack your Zen mints, your future mints, into a token that you can now trade. So, like for example, you can say that I want to mint 128 VMUs, which is an equivalent of 128 wallets for 440 days. But tomorrow or a month later, you decided that you want to sell it, and you actually can do it. There is a marketplace for NFTs, and there are buyers that would be willing to buy it and take your future Zen off your hands. So Zen is created by participation, but it also is created by time. And now you can sell, I guess, your time embedded in Zen ahead of time. So that's what the XENFTs are in the nutshell. So I hope that explains it, and we're pretty happy with the launch that happened on December 30th. Almost 7% of the total Zen supply has been burned. That's an equivalent of 211 billion Zen, which is awesome. At the same time, there is another thing that's quite interesting. So until this NFT is launched, we only had so much Ethereum burned on gas. But as soon as we launched, the rate of Ethereum burn has jumped. And you can see it on zenturbo.io dashboard. So that actually means that there's more people producing Zen by using XENFTs, which is great. That's what they're ultimately part of the reason why they were created. And thirdly, looking at Google Analytics on our web app, we see now a triple increase in the active users. So we had so many users before, but within 3 days, the activity on the website itself, the web app, has tripled in its visits and actions and many other things, which is pretty incredible. I'm very thankful to the community for actually getting into that because it's a totally new thing. Zen is pretty new. It's only 85 days old, and XENFTs is this even newer, bigger concept that combines collectability with utility of Zen.
Let me just add to that. ZenTurbo.io is absolutely amazing, guys. These guys did an amazing site. I recommend you all go there and check some stats. I also want to give a shout out to Web3ly. He made ZenSquad.com. ZenSquad.com. It's amazing. It's a simple UI, but you can see the current stats on the XENFTs, and you can see that we burned 221 billion Zen already in less than 48 hours or something like that. So check that out.
Yep, great site. And on there, we also see that so far, 92 Apex, the most expensive NFTs, have been minted. And the absolute top, the most expensive NFT is called Zunicorn. There has been 14 of them minted out of 100. So we could imagine 14% of the supply for Zunicorns have been consumed so far.
That 14 must have come now, because I checked half an hour ago. It wasn't there. So welcome, number 14, Unicorn.
That's very cool. I wish I could get that category, but that's really cool. So a little bit of a technical discussion. When the XENFT is on the Apex and the limited category is being mint, the rate of Zen that is minting once the NFT is into an investor's hand, are they a different amount, faster, slower, more or less, depending on the category and the amount of burn that one person is willing to do, based on Apex and the limited category?
So the minting part is all the same. It's completely fair in regards to other people out there in the community. It uses the same Zen contract, and Zen contract will mint exactly as much as if you did not use the NFT. The only thing that NFT does, it makes the bulk minting very easy so that you can use multiple wallets. Like, for example, let's say that one wallet will cost you $3 on the weekend if you want to mint Zen for the future, but you really want to do 100 wallets, you're willing to pay $300 in gas. ZenFT embeds that functionality, but it is equivalent of you minting with 100 wallets if you just go to the regular mint. There's no extra bonuses of any kind. But the functionality in having a one-click transaction that does 100 wallets right away is what makes it easier for the users, and also safer, because you don't have to make mistakes. You don't have to juggle 100 wallets. You don't have to create a bunch of MetaMask windows or instances. And also, now that your future mints are in this NFT, you can trade it. You can trade it on OpenSea or any other platforms out there.
Yes, and I have seen a lot of ZenFT already being listed on there with quite a bit of value on them as well. So the next question to you and Sensu is, if the rate of Zen being mint from each of the class for the ZenFT is the same, then why would one burn 50 or 10 billion versus 250 million on the limited class?
Well, the reason is that the highest class is the most rare. So collectability is the name of the game there. So, for example, 10 billion Zen is a lot of Zen, and it's a lot of dollars, but there's only 100 of them. So only 100 people in the world technically could have them. So that makes them very rare, and this rarity boosts the value. But you don't have to burn. You can go straight for collectible without the burn and just use it as a utility NFT. You can also trade it. So it's completely optional. Users are not forced to burn it. But if we look at the overall market, we can see that over 200 billion Zen already been burned. And if we look at the Zen value today, that's close to $600,000, which is a lot. So the question is, why are all those people that created 3,300 NFTs in the last 3 days are opting in to burn. Well, they're opting in to burn because they want to embed the value of Zen inside the rare or limited. And when I say limited, I mean it's a loose term. It's just a collectible that is not produced. No one else will be able to mint it, and that amplifies the value. So that is why people feel like burning.
So my personal experience with the XENFT was quite an eyes opening, because at the beginning I didn't understand, you know, why would you go in and try to burn something to get something, even though for the collectible XENFT one, I do understand. Yeah, it's certainly much better to just get one and mint 128 wallet. I think right now that's the maximum you can get, right? In one transaction, instead of having to sit there for hours and waiting for gas and things like that to try to get 128 wallets. That's awesome. It's pretty cool. But for the limited class, for the people that listening into the room, I didn't quite get it until I tried the limited class, and I went in, obviously burned 250 million Zen with 100 VMU virtual machine units, and the whole transaction itself, depending on when you get Zen and at which price you get it for, it probably costs about what, $12 to $1,500. But immediately day after, this XENFT has produced double the amount of the Zen that I burned to acquire that XENFT itself, which I think that is the most interesting things that I've seen in the NFT space. That's why I call it a functional NFT. It's not just a collectible or something that you looked at, but it also serves as a function for the project and also for the collector.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the same time, when we say burn, let's not think of it in terms of destruction for nothing. In this particular case, the burn is a technical term, but in reality, what happens is you're trading your Zen for something that's very rare. You're trading it for another crypto token that happens to look like NFT. So you're using blockchain as a marketplace to convert the way that Zensu would say it, your beloved Zen, into something that's even more rare. So Zen is the currency, and then this NFT is a functional, rare token that can actually gain in value faster because you have converted from one token to the other, and that Zen is abundant, it's inflationary, but all of the Apex class and limited class XENFTs are deflationary. In other words, they're capped. They're one class, the limited class, is capped by time, and the Apex class is capped by the total amount. So total amount is 1,000. So once 1,000 are minted, that's it, they're gone. There's nothing else to be minted. And that's what's important to realize.
That is that's a good way to see it. Yeah, because when once they burn in the crypto space, we're thinking about, you buy the token and then you send it to the no wallet where it's gone. But in this case, it's not doing that. It's actually converting it into a different type of token. Okay, I got it. Thank you very much for clearing that out in my head. I was thinking of it as the traditional burn sense of crypto. So the next question that I've seen a lot in posts and things that people ask. So if you say that it is inflationary and XENFT is helped to deflate the number of Zen that people minting and putting it out in the open market, then why are these XENFT producing significant amount more of Zen, and how is it going to affect the price of Zen for the future to come once these collectors who come out and their term is over, say mine is over in 100 days, And instead of 250 million, I now receive a lot more after 100 days. And I might be able to, I have option to stake or to put it in the open market. That in turn will bring not deflationary, but make it more inflation. So can you discuss a little bit of how and what are your plans to counteract that numbers that is going on within the XENFT itself?
So there's few things. So even without us doing anything, if we just stop producing applications for Zen, Zen itself is disinflationary, means that every day there's less Zen produced, and that is a fact because part of the Zen's formula, it has 8 years runway. After 8 years, there's no more Zen produced. So that type of definitive aspect of the protocol makes Zen inflationary in the short term, but disinflationary over the 8-year period. It's just the period is long, and a lot of people are very, very short-sighted. They look at the production today, but they're not realizing that in 4 years, the same amount of dollars that they spent on Zen minting is going to be, will have to double, because there will be will be at halfway point in 4 years in terms of production of Zen. Secondly, in 3 years or 2 years, we may be in a bull market. The cost of Ethereum could be $10,000. The cost of gas may be 200 Gwei. All those things combined will make the $3 mint today cost you maybe $500. That being the case, Zen's value is linked to the number one, Ethereum price, number two, activity of the Ethereum chain and the gas cost, and of course to the declining ratio of creation that's declining every day. So those aspects are spread over a long period of time so that the community can have time to build without feeling like they're late. So right now it's only been 86 days, 85 days. Community is growing really nicely. We hope maybe we'll have 10x more people by the end of the year, and those people will bring more value to Zen, more value to the ecosystem by being participants, but also by being builders and creators of new things. So we're not really worried at all about people minting. We want people to mint as much as they can. It is the right time to mint because it's a bear market. Nobody's using the blockchain. It's $3 a wallet. It's very inexpensive. But in the future, in 2 years and 3 years, when the bull market hits, which it will, everything will move higher. And if you look at the Zen's market cap, it's only like $6 million. It's microscopic. You need a microscope to see it. Shiba Inu is in billions. And I think we can do better with than Shiba Inu, because Shiba Inu is not really true decentralized crypto. It's very, very much loved, but the founders have a lot of the supply. And it has a quadrillion of tokens out there, or something like that, something ridiculous. In our case, with Zen, it's the community itself that gives birth to the tokens. No one else is selling them to you. It's really you guys that are making it. And so we want the community to make as many tokens as they can, bring more people in, teach them crypto, learn good habits, and have fun with NFTs, and have the kind of like a game with the collectability, and then with many other projects that will be coming up from the Zen community.
Thank you very much for cleaning that up. Go ahead, Sensu.
I'd like to add to that too, because you mentioned price. I think it's important, if you think about price, to really understand what goes on in terms of the supply. Because native to Zen protocol is there's a minting function and there's a burning function. And what we do with Zen Torrent is, for the first time with a real application, really using that burning function. So it's a concept that we borrowed, which we call the yin yang, where we have the positive active expanding and the negative passive contracting. So you can compare it to quantitative easing and tightening within any fiat world, where you have an expansion of supply and a contraction of the supply. The difference here, which is what's really interesting, is that we have a market that a fair market that dictates these levels based on incentives that is completely decentralized. So there's no central authority that has the power due to pre-mint or to central control to affect these levels. It's completely in the hands of a market to create incentives to adjust the supply. And as Jack mentions, the supply for Shiba Inu, for instance, is in the trillions, over 500 trillion. And in the estimates that we have so far, based on, you can watch this on Zen Turbo, based on the last couple of weeks and months activity, that's where we will be at in terms of supply. If the rate that has been continues in 8 years. But that hasn't taken into account the burn, but it doesn't take into account the potential accelerated adoption as well. So before you even start to think about price, you really got to understand the forces of the supply that are very strong with Zen.
That brings up the next question, Zach. A lot of people in my community, the Saitama community, is asking, why don't you bring Zen Crypto into the listing in our own app, Cyto Pro? Can you explain how does Zen get out of the open trading market when you and the developer team does not have the liquidity on hand?
That's really up to the owners of the projects that want to bring Zen in. So, like for example, it's not really the same thing, but let's talk a little bit about these centralized exchanges. So, centralized exchanges listed Zen on the second day. Well, they had the countdown the first day, and then the second day it got listed. Now, generally, the supply that's produced for the founding team for themselves by pre-mining or pre-mint is shared with the exchange, so that the founding team can make a lot of money by having their tokens sold. And of course, they give a bunch of the tokens to the exchanges as well. So what happened with the exchanges and the way that they did it, they just said that here's the address to send your Zen in for trading. And so on the next day, when Zen started to get minted, a lot of people opted in to send their Zen to the exchanges, and that's how the liquidity showed up on their platform. So any platform that can receive an ERC20 token can do exactly the same thing. They can, first of all, announce that Zen is used, and then just open up the address to or to the protocol to accept Zen as ERC20. So it's just as simple as that.
Okay, that's good to know. So I wasn't far from answering the community and letting everybody know that, because this is a unique case, whoever want to list Zen on their either DeFi or the DeFi space on the DeFi wallet or the centralized exchange space, then they will have to somehow come up with the supply by themselves, either from the community or from the developers of the whoever that run that DeFi space and that exchange space. That is correct, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could offer the utility, and then basically say that here's something cool you can do with Zen, and send Zen here. And like, for example, you could even come up with your own token, and you can say, send Zen in to participate in this new project, and it could be an NFT or it could be anything.
Okay, this is I hear you say it over and over again, that other developers can develop on top of Zen for various amount of things. For that, if you can explain and give us an example of what one can do on top of Zen beside getting the supply and have it listing on it, what are examples of people that can participate more into the developer side of the equation and get more involved with the project?
Okay, so there's two projects that come to mind. So one of the projects hasn't yet been launched yet. Currently, it's called Phoenix, and what that protocol does, it's an ERC20 contract. It offers people to burn Zen and then trade it for the Phoenix token that can be staked for a very, very long time and has a different yield structure. So Phoenix token can generate its own yield, but it takes Zen in to bring in as a trade, essentially. It burns in the process, but the new token is issued and it has a different yield structure. So this is the most basic, purest form of an application on top of Zen. The second project that comes to mind is called Zen Heads, and that's that's an NFT project. It has all the same similar features that any NFT would have. It's limited. There's only so much of them, but they have. I think they have a burn and a buyback of a sort, and I don't exactly know the details, but anybody who wants to create an NFT by using Zen can do it by looking up our open source repository and see how Zen has been integrated into those NFTs, and then replicate the same model and be really creative, come up with better graphics or come up with better tokenomics for the NFTs and do all kinds of interesting things with it. So that's how the community can participate in building.
Thank you very much for answering that question. I'll go ahead and open the floor up for anyone who has question for you and Sensu. So if anyone who has question for Jack, please come up, request to speak. And I don't have to say it, but please be respectful of your questions. And this is a technical space, so ask as many technical questions as you can and get to understand what Zen is doing and how it is very different and very interesting. And a lot of people say, why are you launching both projects? One is the token itself, and the other one is the NFT in the bear market. I'd like for you to cover that. I know you say it a few thousand times, but if you can say, why is it that you're launching both projects in a very heavy bear market?
Well, the bear market is great for launching projects because in the bull market, everything goes up and you just don't even know if your project is successful. It's just going to pump anyway, and you have no idea if you did a good job or not. And so the bear market is, I would say, is acting as a filter. It's a great filter for amazing projects that could thrive in the bear market and obviously should thrive even better in the bull market. But in the bull market, it's hard. It's hard to launch a project because, well, I guess the shit coins are everywhere. They're all going up, and more importantly, you feel like you're the king because your silly thing is also going up, but you haven't really done any work, and then the bear market comes and that's it. The value is gone. Everybody left. And so what we're doing is we're trying to build a solid foundation in the bear market where people are discerning and obviously would not just throw their money away just because everything's going up. So that is probably the biggest reason for the bear market.
And
I
also
really
the
like
fact
the
that
way you
we're not
see
really
things.
we're not really dependent on capital in order to get adoption, since we're focusing on population rather than capital in the first place. So it works very well to grow this. And this is also a reason why it's very interesting for developers to build on top of Zen, because not only are you building on something that you can verifiably trust through the first principles, you're also getting a community which is overreaching multiple different chains. So if you build something that's really good, you have that virality network effect, which you're getting more or less for free. And you have to bear this in mind with a lot of crypto projects. I know it for myself. You're building amazing stuff, and then it's all about acquiring capital from VCs in order for you to use a lot of that capital for marketing, and a lot of that capital for getting listed on centralized exchanges and stuff like that. This is something that is a huge value add for builders in the sense that here they can be more free in the creative part and create amazing stuff. And if it's good enough, then it will spread.
Thank you very much for explaining that further. And I like the way that that you both think about building in the bear market, because as crypto, you can't please everybody. Doesn't really matter what you do, there will always be someone who hating on you. And in our community, we experienced plenty within the past 2022 of haters and people who want to tell us how to build our project and how to get it to where it's supposed to be. The same foundation goes that you build when a solid project, and you let people decide if that project, your project, is worthy of their own investment. And that's why I resonate with XEN a lot more than other projects, because of how unique it is, and also the foundation and the principle that it's built on. I see a speaker. Mac, if you are ready to speak, go ahead and remove your mic, and then ask the question as you please.
Okay, hello everyone, and Happy New Year, first of all. Thanks for this space, and thanks Jack and Senzu and our host for doing this. I don't necessarily have a question, but I did want to make a comment based on what I'm seeing on Twitter and YouTube chat, and some people asking just various questions, of course. But the biggest confusion that I see that people have is they're wondering why burn the XEN for these NFTs. And Jack explains it very well. Senzu explains it very well. One way that I appreciate that Jack once said was a simple analogy. And it's simply taking a pocket full of change, going to the bank and exchanging it for a paper note, paper currency, that basically is transferring that economic energy or that value of the XEN. Even though the coins are no longer in your hands, that economic value is then transferred and encapsulated in a different medium of exchange. So I just wanted to kind of help other people who don't necessarily understand why burning XEN, to understand that from a different analogy perhaps. And if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there for people to understand, of course.
Do you have anything to add to what Mac just say, Jack or Senzu?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. This isn't about destruction. It's about transmutation from one state to the next. And we're just giving people utility plus the ways to acquire something that's not going to be inflationary at all, because NFTs by definition are limited and capped. So even more limited than any ERC20 token out there. And I'm talking about the Apex and obviously the one that's we'll call limited, which is limited by time by 2023.
Jack, I have a couple of questions on the chat. Some XEN captain is asking, when are you considering making these NFT available on the Binance chain?
So we haven't decided yet on the timeline. We just wanted to make sure that the Ethereum project is doing well. And once we gather all the necessary data, we'll be making a decision in terms of when to go to Binance blockchain. So, but it's definitely coming. Thank you. And there is a question about the reflection thing, but we'll touch base about it later. But Paul, you are a speaker, sir. If you want to speak, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi there. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. So thank you for hosting, and thank you, Jack and Senzu. Super excited about the project. I'm the founder and executive director of State of the Heart Recovery. We're focused on nonprofit
Uh-oh, we lost him.
opioid. Can you hear me?
I still hear him.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So I've been working for a couple of years on trying to do a gamification for people in the recovery path from substance use, addiction, and mental health. And 90% of our clients are homeless. We have a couple of hundred clients that show up on a daily basis. And I'm really excited about utilizing Zen NFTs as a way of donating funds to somebody in their recovery path, and then letting them have access to that through their treatment team, including the licensed clinician. I think it'd be a great way for communities to a way to test out how you can donate and also gamify behavior that we're searching for. And I just wanted to put a shout out here and see if anybody could reach out to me. I'm not technical at all, but State of the Heart Recovery is a nonprofit that's focused on revolutionizing substance use, mental health, and homelessness through integrating state-of-the-art technology with healing. And so I'd love to connect with people that might have similar interest in this demographic of the population. And it would be a great use case, and I don't think it would be super complicated since Jack has really done a lot of the heavy lifting already.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best way to connect with us is just to go to our Telegram group and just announce your presence, and the admins will help you to connect with us, and we can go from there.
If you don't mind, if I can add in real quick, Paul, I appreciate you bringing this up. I've already spoken with, I know GRC's in the space here. I've spoken to him in small detail about an idea that I have, and Senzu, I'll talk to you in more detail on Telegram about this. But one of my main ideas is to utilize Zen as a way to help charity organizations. I know that there is something like that in the crypto space. I think you can donate tokens to charity organizations through a certain platform. I don't know what that is. I haven't looked into it just yet, but that's kind of my vision so far. And again, I'm not technical, but that's my idea. And of course we build on it. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see where Zen takes us all, really. So, but of course I will, I'll do some more research and reach out to everyone who may be interested in this.
Sure, man. Yeah, we can talk on Telegram. I know some projects on Polygon and Arbitrum, so I'll brief you on that.
Sounds good.
Good to see you, Mac. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you very much for that. That's quite interesting. You know, this when a community is growing is when other people want to come in and collaborate with you and bring in ideas to enhance and grow the community with you. And it's truly the projects like Zen is going to make crypto a better place where people can feel safe to come in and invest, and without being worried that oh my God, did I pick the right project? So that's pretty cool. Jack, recently you have mentioned about the new protocol that you are going to introduce into the Zen ecosystem, and it's called the reflection token. It is very technical. I listened to the video, but I didn't really understand what exactly it means. So if you can break down in elementary terms so we can all understand it and be ready for it whenever it's come out, that would be awesome.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, this is very exciting, and I'm really excited about this future development. So what the reflection token is a token that's based on the ERC-20 standard. It has a cap of 100 million, but we haven't decided on the number. It could be 200, but it's probably going to be 100 million. It is not inflationary. In other words, it's only inflationary until the point when all the tokens are issued. It has a 5-year runtime, so every month there is an emission of those tokens. So the first month could be 5 million, the next month could be 4,900,000, and then the third month is 4,800,000, so on and so forth. And it declines on the logarithmic scale. So if you're late to the token emissions, then you're making very little because it will only run for about 5 years. And as you know, Zen is getting created within the 8-year period. So 5 is the Fibonacci number just before 8. So that's why I like 5. And that's one aspect of it. The second aspect is that how can you get this token? So you have to be a Zen holder, and you'll have to trade Zen for the new token. And when I say trade, I really mean burn. So the new contract will take your Zen and will destroy it, will issue you what we would call basically a share of the emissions that are coming within the 30-day period. So let's say that for the sake of argument, 5 million is coming within the first 30 days or after 30 days. So you're coming in with 1 million Zen, and you're depositing this 1 million Zen into the contract. It gets burned, and it gives you the shares. Now, the shares are computed in this particular way. If you're the only person who is doing it, you could just come in with 1 Zen, not even a million. And if you burn it, you get all of the shares. So, and obviously you will get the full mint of 5 million tokens after 30 days. Now, if there's more people coming in, they have to compete for this 5 million amount of this new token by burning their Zen. So if you burn 1 million, somebody else burns 2 million, and the third person burns 3 million, the third person gets the most shares, or I would say the rights for the emissions of the new token. So that's how the distribution model works. There's nothing pre-minted. It's the same type of fair crypto where there's no admin keys. The contract is non-upgradable. It's immutable. It's on chain. Very much visible. And what happens is that every 30 days, there is a round of competition of who burns the most Zen. And if everybody burning equal amount of Zen, let's say that 1,000 people come, they all burn the same. That means each one gets 0.1%. So they all get 1,000 or one of the 1,000 shares, like so to speak, because there's 1,000 people, they all burned the same amount. However, I don't see the same amount being burned. Likely there will be a competition whoever burns the most, so that you can get the new token, get the most shares specifically. So that's not even the reflection part. That's just distribution. The rounds will start every 30 days and will end every 30 days. And there will be a leaderboard that will show how many people are playing, so to speak, and how many people are committing their Zen to burn to get the shares of the issuance of the new token. After 5 years, 100 million tokens will be issued, and that will be the end of it. Now, the reflection part comes from the fact that you can pay people yield for the desired behavior. In this particular case, the desired behavior would be staking. If after 30 days you're receiving, let's say, 1 million tokens and you decided to stake them, then if you're staking, then you're getting yield from people who are unstaking. So people who are staking the most, the longest, get the most yield because of just the amount of time. So reflection is generally linked to the activity of the protocol. So the more people receive the mint of the new token, the more activity there is, and there's bigger yield for people who are staking the longest. So that's how the reflection works. So not only you can make the new token that's very, very scarce, in a sense it's has the tokenomics that does not produce any more tokens, but you can also stake it to generate yield from people who are unstaking before you do. So first it's the competition of whoever burns the most, and second is the competition of whoever stakes the longest. Whoever burns the most, whoever stakes the longest, gets the most yield and the most tokens. So that is the how the tokenomics are being designed.
And how does the reflection token get its value from? Are you planning to list it on centralized exchange, or are you going to let it ride just like Zen did from the beginning of the inception of the project?
So here's the way that I'm speculating in my own mind. Currently, Zen's market cap is 6 million. It is possible that within the first year of Zen's existence, it may come up to 100 million based on the market conditions. So Zen being 100 million in market cap held by our users, by the community, can now transfer this market cap, so to speak, into the new token. So the exchanges themselves do not give value to tokens. It is the people that trade the tokens that give tokens value. That is how it works, generally speaking. But I understand that if you pump the token with a good story and give it to an exchange and it sells it for the top dollar, well, the losers are the people who are buying it from you. And that's not the game we want to play. We want it to be just as fair as Zen Crypto itself. And so the value will be given by the fact that the community is growing, Zen's market cap is growing, there's more utility to Zen, and eventually it gets transferred as an option to the new reflection token. So the new reflection token is scarce. There's only 100 million of it. It's going to have a 5-year issuance time, and people get to compete by burning Zen for the emissions of the new token. Furthermore, all of these NFTs that are being produced are also part of the game. The NFTs can be staked to amplify your reflection yield. So if you have a Zunicorn, or if you have a limited, or if you have collectible, if you stake your NFTs, you will be getting a priority and increase in yield from this reflection token. So the more, and by the way, your NFT does not need to be burned. It just needs to be staked. So if you burn a lot of Zen and you stake your new token together with this NFT, your yield is maximized. And that is how NFTs get utility too. They get yield from this new token.
So that's very interesting, right? Because you have NFTs who are giving utility for Zen, and in turn, the reflection token is giving utility for the NFTs, and of course Zen. So these projects that we're building and that developers are going to build in the ecosystem can have very interesting interconnected dynamics with each other.
Yeah, and
yes, I see that. That's very complex in my mind. I'm trying to wrap everything around it. I think I get the basic, of what it is that you're trying to do with the whole ecosystem and how you're putting it together. And I know you're not stopping here either. So myself, as someone who just looking at the project and seeing the direction of where it's going, I do look forward for the future and what you are going to come up with. Go ahead, Jack. I know you had something to say.
Yeah, so real quick. So going back to the original question of value, where does the value come from? So you yourself have minted Zen and made this NFT just recently. You have added value to the network. You have burned your gas, and now you have the future mint, and you have these NFT that you will not sell for less that you have invested in. Generally, that is where the value comes in. And just in very simple terms, you can have a person coming in into the Zen.net network, spend $3, mint one wallet, with the hope that they can triple the $3 they have invested in the mint process, so that in 300 days or 400 days, they can actually potentially sell, or at least lock in the value of cheaper gas today versus the bull market tomorrow. So that is where the value always comes from. It comes from the people, it comes from the network activity. It doesn't come from the exchanges. The only reason why people think that the exchanges give anything value is because exchanges have a lot of users and they get to promote projects that may have no substance at all. We're building this project from the grounds up, building a foundation that can last for a long, long time. That is why we really don't technically care if decentralized exchanges are trading us or listing us. We want Uniswap or any decentralized exchanges to be using Zen, and because that lets people practice self-custody. So that is what the foundation of the Fair Crypto Foundation stands on.
Thank you for the explanation. Simple, I see that you are a speaker. Please unmute your mic if you need to say something.
Hi, yes. Happy New Year, everyone. Super pumped for XENFTs. I'm going to be minting some of my first XENFTs today, actually, which I'm super pumped about. And it's awesome to hear a little bit about the reflection token and how that's just going to, really overall enhance the value of Zen and participation. Super happy to be here. I did have a quick question. So I was kind of just looking once XENFTs dropped. Obviously, a lot of they went on the marketplace on OpenSea, and so I was kind of looking through OpenSea, and I saw some that were listed with like one VMU, and they were like one day. I saw some, even like 2 days or something like that. Can you explain a little bit more about that? Because I know there was something where it's like you can't transfer it 7 days before the mint, and what's going to happen to those those NFTs. Maybe they can collect them, but are they able to sell them?
So good question. So there is a restriction of 7 days before and after the mint in terms of trading. And the reason we have done it is because we didn't want to have a situation where somebody coming into OpenSea thinking that they're getting the future mint that's happening today, and then the owner preemptively redeems the NFT and then ends up selling the unminted Zen as if it's there, but it wouldn't be there. So it would be like a race condition or a front run. So we want front runs to be limited like that. So people who made one VMUs 1 days, it still belongs to them. They can claim their mints. Their NFTs will be treated as redeemed, so they'll get the property redeemed, and then they can sell them if they want, because they can sell their C rank. C rank remains within these NFT embedded in the property, so it becomes this sort of a collectible item. But the restriction is definitely there. So if you're doing any sort of future mints, I would say maximize the days. It doesn't cost you anything to specify 440 days. So why would you do one? I mean, the only reason you would do one is that if you wanted to experiment and to see if it works, which is a valid reason to do it. But I would say that most of the mints really should be far in the future, because that is how you can lock in the best amplification, because you're locking in the AMP, which is the amplifier that's kind of like a difficulty for Zen. So every day it's more difficult to produce Zen for people. So if you lock it in for the longest amount of time, you're getting the best deal.
Cool. Yeah, and I guess that's super interesting. I guess the value proposition is that C rank. Even if they did one VMU, I mean 1 day, they're definitely in the negative. They probably paid more for that and they took a loss. But the vanity metrics of having that C rank is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's not only C rank, also the actual the number of the NFT. So somebody could have done 10,001. That's where the collector starts. So 10,001 is a very good number because it's the first one in the collection. So that creates vanity aspect and the rarity as well.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I saw one that someone was doing like more so like artwork with the XENFTs where it was like 11 11 11, and I don't know if it was like a just 11 billion or something like that. Maybe it was less, but cool artwork and stuff like that with XENFTs is kind of fun.
Yeah, it makes them interesting and rare that way.
I have a question on the chat, Jack. Somebody asked if only the Apex class is the one can participate in the reflection protocol.
We're deciding right now, but I think we're gonna have all NFTs participate, but they will have different yield maximization ratios. So obviously the Apex ones will have the highest yield ratio, and the one that's the least expensive one, the collector, still will have amplification, but it's not going to be as huge as Apex, for example.
So
Wow.
do-
Well, while we have been talking here, guys, we just had another Sunicorn being minted. Welcome, Sunicorn number 15. Only
Whoa,
85
welcome. Awesome. If I can guess, you know, some of my community members love NFT, and I don't know if it is one of them or not, but I hope it is one of them, and so that they can, you know, get to know the project and participate, because this is definitely a very unique and fun project to see. And that come into the question of that flying route is how come the price of the token keep going down even though the XENFT protocol has already been introduced? You know, the question is not for me, but if you want to address, Jack, go for it.
Yeah, I will definitely address it. So the chart action is great for marketing. Anytime we have a pump, everybody loves Zen, and everybody has a dump. Everybody's confused, but it generates the news regardless. But one thing to note, that it's only been 85 days. We actually do not know where the price will settle. So we're going to have the price discovery happening for a long period of time. But in the financial world, people have this concept called fair market value. So right now, the reason why a lot of people are minting Zen and not buying Zen is because they get a better deal on mints. And all you need to do is specify the amount of time you're willing to wait. The longer you wait, the more you make. Technically, you can get the most profit if you decide to sell. That being the case, Zen's price is getting pushed by the speculators. When XENFTs were announced that we're about to launch, Zen's price tripled. It went from 5 zeros and 2 to 5 zeros and 7. I guess that's even more than a triple. And the question is, okay, well, that was excitement and exuberance, and a lot of people wanted to get their Zen cheap so that they can mint their XENFTs. That definitely happened. When XENFTs came out, there was kind of like this, letdown of energy, and people decided to take opportunity and sell Zen that they bought earlier cheaper for a higher price. Completely normal action. But the fact remains, if you're a minter of Zen, you're pretty much going to be in the profit for every one of your mints, unless you specify very, very short term, like 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days. Then you will break even, or maybe you will actually end up losing money. Also, if your mints are costing a lot of gas, and you're minting in the middle of a week and not on the weekends, that's suboptimal strategy as well. So a lot of people who are minting, they're always in the profit, especially the long-term minters. So just to give you an example, and I did this calculation just recently, 30 days ago, you could have spent about $10,000 to mint 10 billion Zen in just 30 days. So if you spend $10,000 and you create 5, 6, 7,000 wallets, then in 30 days, the contract will produce 10 billion Zen for you. Now, when Zen rallied this last few days, you could have sold this 10 billion Zen for $70,000. So that's 6-7x of the investment in gas, and of course investment in time, and it's only 30 days. Now tell me if there is a crypto that actually can do that in a bear market, and you're not even buying Zen from the market, you're minting it. I mean, of course you have to be lucky, because luck plays a big role in everything, right? But in this particular case, $10,000 invested in gas becomes $60,000 or $70,000 in just 30 days. So, and that's obviously a very well designed example, looking into the past, and we know that hindsight is 2020 and all that. But truly, the fact is that if you were a buyer of Zen on the market, you would have made 3x. But if you are a minter, you would have made 6x. So minters always win, and buyers sometimes win, but a lot of times buyers lose. So my recommendation to everybody in the community, it's only been 85 days. We have the best amplification right now. If you want to participate, go ahead and mint. Don't worry about the price. Don't look at the chart. Don't worry about the fathers or the haters. The price will in the market will figure itself out. We're here for the long term. We're here to build. We have 8 years to build something amazing, and our community is great and helping us to build the ecosystem together with us. So I'm very excited for the next, I wouldn't even say 8 years, I would say 10, 15 years, because we're just not going to stop with Zen. Zen is a building block to create more innovation, to bring fairness into blockchain, to launch people into crypto on the same kind of balance level, so that everybody get a fair chance without getting scammed. So that is what we stand for, and I think the future is bright, even if we're in the midst of the bear market. Actually, it's great to be in the bear market, and I mentioned why that's the case. So I'm super excited.
Thank you for explaining and addressing that so eloquently. Because it's for me, when it comes to investing, if it's crypto or if it is stock or if it is a property, for example, there has to be an amount of time given for the investment to mature, for it to become where you want it to be. And like you say, luck does play in the equation as well too, because there is the ups and downs of the market, and for those that are looking at it as a pump and dump or a short-term game, those are the ones that always lose. And like I say, it doesn't really matter how much you do and how much you put into the project. Haters will always be haters. You can't please everybody, and that's how I see it. Simple. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean that's super awesome. Just what you guys were saying. Just the long term vision with Zen just being like the base, and then there's going to be all of this different creation coming from it. And it's truly amazing just to be a part of it. And I mean the community. I mean it's really mind blowing. I don't know about anyone else, but it's sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, this is real. This is really happening. It's going on, and super awesome. I guess I have a question just about the reflection token, and it seems like you're kind of rewarding people that are in it for the long term, and then anyone that's wants to take their short term profit or whatever, or get out of the pool or whatnot from the 30-day burn. They're kind of they're not making as much, or it's kind of even the playing field for people that are still down to hold longer. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think the philosophy comes from the fact that imagine imagine if Bitcoin had staking function, and you would have bought 1,000 Bitcoins when they were worth $3, or maybe even $10 or $30, and then you staked it for 5 years, and all of a sudden you're making crazy gains, up to 10,000 times, and all you need to do is don't do anything, just buy it, stake it, and save yourself from being a trader. That is where the value it truly is. And the value is not just in just keeping something close to heart and not moving it. The value comes from the fact that the world is growing around the crypto. Crypto is being more adopted by everyone out there, the whole planet. And all you do is you're benefiting from the growth of the crypto world in general, and all of the technologies that are being created. So sometimes it's just best not to get in and get out like a dolphin, and be a slow whale. Accumulate as much as you can, and then hopefully. I mean, obviously, with Bitcoin, it's no brainer. But nobody knew that Bitcoin would be huge. Nobody knew that something that's worth $1 would be worth 59 or 69,000 in the last year. So, but those things happen. We see them. We saw it with Shiba. We saw a person obviously investing $8,000 and reaching the valuation of billions with Shiba. And Shiba isn't even that amazing in terms of fairness. So I think the lesson in everything is that the investor mindset is building a base that you're growing. The trader's mindset is finding something that's dumping or pumping and then going in and out. Completely different mindset. Even though it's available with Zen, it's not something that we promote. We promote building, we promote community growth, we promote investor-like mindset, where you actually can build wealth for yourself by building together with the community.
Yeah,
And it's in the formula, right? It's like it's the proof of participation that really does it in the base formula. You claim a rank, and then you have a window of education before you mint. So it forces participants to educate themselves, and you are rewarded for the longevity of your thinking.
and this is all just the dolphin's dream, though, right? Just just like that song. I don't know. I think you guys were talking about it, like on a or live stream or something like that. That Enigma song.
Yeah, the man is the dream of the dolphin. That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's fun. Also, by the way, Depeche Mode. You kind of I tapped into that one album, and yeah, that one song, "Personal Jesus." It's a good song. That album is pretty fun. But anyways,
It's a classic.
So, if I may ask, Jack, developers of projects are putting out project to the crypto space for a mere reason of making a business for themselves, quote unquote, profit, revenue. Why are you doing Zen crypto without that mentality in mind?
It's actually incorrect to think that there is no interest in profit for me personally. I just want to build the ecosystem that I can invest into, that I can benefit as a participant of the creation. So I am a minter of Zen too, and I just wanted to build something together with the community that I can put 1,000% of my mind frame behind, and that is where my value comes from. If I do well, then my mints will be worth a good amount of money, and it's as simple as that.
Okay, fair enough. Does anyone in the space have any question for our co-host? If you don't, we are on the top of the hours and some more. I like to respect Jack and Sensu's time. and we'll end the space. However, it is recorded, so you can go ahead and share it with your community. Listen to it again, because I know that a lot of this is very technical, and it takes a little bit more time to understand and to grasp the concept of what's to come within the Zen ecosystem.
We have one of the builders here with us in Spaces, Joe B. Would you like to say a few words about your project?
Yeah, Joe is an amazing builder. He built the Zen.fyi. You guys should go check it out. It's an interface where you can mint Zen from as well. It looks really beautiful. And what's cool with that site is you can see all the G ranks from all the different chains. And he has a really exciting new project that he's building.
Welcome, Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm
Joe.
good. How are you?
I'm very good. Just hanging out, enjoying the beautiful weather out here.
Cool.
Where
So
are you on this beautiful earth of ours?
I'm in San Francisco right now. San Francisco,
Oh,
California.
very nice. Very nice. Jack, I have a question. Someone asked if Zen Torrent is able to track the NFT like it tracks Zen in the wallet. Does that make any sense?
nope, not yet.
No, it doesn't make sense, or no, it doesn't track.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, will Zen Turbo site be able to track our claimable NFT like our Zen wallet?
Oh,
That is,
I
yeah.
think so, because they have built something that already does that.
Okay. So, Cubanito, that is your question. We doubt that it is able to track it.
No, we don't doubt it. I think they have it already built. So you can go and go to Zen Turbo and click on these NFTs, and I think they have a tracker there. I mean, but I'm not sure, because I haven't. I saw that they developed the marketplace, and I think they're coming up with the tracker.
Okay.
So they've created a NFT status dashboard, which is very cool. I don't think they've added to the claim monitor yet, but that's for sure something I guess they're working hard on right now. I would be surprised if they didn't. So my guess, it's just a matter of time. But you can check on zenturbo.io right now. Their interface for searching different NFTs based on category of EMUs, price range, etc., etc.
I know the answer to this. Hi everyone.
Hey Claire, how you doing?
Hey. So you have to go on the contract on Etherscan, and then you have to manually input each address into the ZenTurbo site. Like there's a box where you put in the address, comma, and a name. And then you have to do it manually. So if you have 100 addresses, you have to do it manually. But I just did that last night and it works.
Awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think they're gonna build something where you just log in with your MetaMask, and your MetaMask will be scanned for NFTs, and then the tracker will populate itself.
Wow, that is amazing. Simple, go ahead.
I just had a quick question. Hey Joe, I've only heard a little bit about the Phoenix token you're looking to build, but I'd love to hear more about how that's gonna help burn Zen.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's I guess a kind of a little bit of background. I came into Zen about a week before the launch, and I was really excited about the project. And what I did with Zen was I used the project Zen.fyi, the website I built, to learn about the protocol. And so that really helped me understand the kind of like depths of what was available in Zen. And so what I did was I learned about the proof of burn mechanism very early on. And we started to kind of look at different ways to take advantage of the proof of burn mechanism and almost look at Zen kind of like Lego blocks where you have the base protocol and you can build components on top of that base protocol. And so obviously we've seen XENFTs been built and launched recently, and those are an amazing idea, amazing innovation. And they show people a way to interact with NFTs that people are very familiar with in the media, but in a way that is, but in a way that is consumable and has some value underlying by burning the Zen. And so one of the things that I was very excited about is I've been in crypto for about 8 or 9 years. And one of the things for me is I'm not very big into like a lot of interactions and doing a lot of stuff. So I wanted something that was a little bit more time or long time horizon. And so we decided to build kind of like a certificate of interest protocol that is built or is comes from burning Zen. And so Phoenix, which my co-founder kind of came up with, is we burn the ashes of Zen and then Phoenix rises from the ashes. And we're going to be doing a little bit more talking about it next week. But it's effectively a interest or a yield bearing protocol that just pays you to lock up your tokens. So the idea is that you would lock up some economic energy, and then you would be rewarded based on the amount of economic energy you locked up and the time preference that you specify for locking up that economic energy. And the value proposition for this is that it comes on the back of what we've seen where people have given a lot of their keys to places like FTX and Celsius and Luna and basically paid or given their keys to these third parties and allowed these third parties to take control of their money basically and then lose the money, lose the keys, you know, engage in a lot of activities that are probably not crypto native. And so that's kind of what the idea for Phoenix is. And I think early next week we'll be releasing our light paper, and we also have the contract already written. I was actually the one that wrote most of the contract or all of the contract. And so I was doing a couple of tests today to finish it off. But we'll be launching the white paper and the contract next week, and we're going to hopefully get into testnet soon and allow people to play with it and get feedback from the community because we have a lot of questions that we want to engage with the community on about it.
That sounds pretty epic. And yeah, I guess that was going to be one of my questions because I know that there's a couple other protocols out there like the Popcorn DAO, and you know, I think it definitely is trending more towards the first principles of crypto, but there's still a little bit of things that are not 100% in my opinion. But yeah, I mean it's super awesome that it sounds like the contract's gonna be in alignment with first principles of crypto and what Zen and Jack and everyone's kind of like guides their themselves towards in the projects.
Yeah, I want to really give a hat tip to Jack because I think he was able to kind of capture this idea that a lot of people I think were really thinking about in crypto, and we kind of lost a little bit of the plot over the last 4 to 5 years. I think the fact that Jack was able to so eloquently define these first principles and really lay down this foundation has really brought back a lot of the excitement for me personally in crypto. And so I want to really give a hat tip to him for writing these first principles out and then really making sure that the projects that we're building abide by these rules. Because I think it's been very easy to kind of get lost and start to think about zero sum games and instead of thinking about a positive sum game, which is what I really believe crypto gives us the opportunity for. And so I really want to say thanks to Jack for not only defining the first principles but building a contract that allows other people to build on in the ecosystem.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I just hope that I hope we grow. I hope our ranks in amazing fair crypto developers goes up, and this year at least I want 20, 30, 40, 50 projects just like yours to show up.
Yeah, one of the things I also want to say is that we want to be a good guide to kind of help show others how to kind of build and work with the ecosystem. So we kind of want to start, and we're probably one of the earlier projects, but we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome and has kind of a guideline to be able to build on top of Zen. And we're gonna obviously we're working together and we're learning everything, but we want to work through the kinks and make it easier for subsequent projects, right? If we're going to get 25 projects to launch this year, let's make the process as easy and as smooth as possible.
Absolutely. That's what makes me so excited for 2023. It's what's coming.
And what's really exciting is with projects like Phoenix is how we can like learn what we have done with Zen and use what's really worked very well and help Joe and Phoenix to adopt his project in the best way possible. Like how do you integrate the community very early on? How do you get feedback from the community? Involving them in the test nets, building his own community around Phoenix, and then also deploying on the various different chains. So very excited for Joe here, and if we can find a model to help many other projects follow in the same path. This year is going to be amazing, guys.
Awesome. So, any more questions from the spaces to me or to Zensu or to Joe? Please don't hesitate.
Hey Jack, can I just how are you, everybody? Can I get a quick question in about locking in your VMU and like the specific number you want to burn as you buy an NFT, please?
Locking in your VMU. So, what is the question? Could you elaborate what you want answered?
Oh, yep. Just when you approve a transaction to buy NFT on MetaMask, you like put the specific number of Zen you want to burn in, and then you get your VMU sorted. I had a transaction like that, and then when my contract interaction went through, the VMU and the Zen burn was different than I put in earlier for the approved. I'm not sure how to.
Okay, so the approved number is the maximum number of Zen tokens that can be taken from your wallet by the ZenFT contract. Now, the actual web UI is where you need to specify the exact amount you want to be burning. So, like, for example, you can approve 10 billion Zen that you don't have, but you can burn 250 million Zen that you do have, or 100 million or 1 million or whatever the number is. So it's really up to the web UI input field. They take priority. It's not the approval that takes the priority. It's the web app.
Oh, so that sometimes can make your NFT be different, eh?
No, I mean you will never get anything different from what you inputted. When you input 100 VMUs, specify 40 days, give it the amount to burn, that is exactly what's going to the blockchain. There is nothing else that can be changed.
Okay, cool. I'm just pretty sure on my NFT it didn't come up with those numbers that I put in.
Okay, well, here's what we can do. If you DM me the transaction ID of what's been executed, we can look at the data on chain and see if it's what you expect it to be. So because data on chain speaks the truth, and the only person who can execute the transaction is your MetaMask, right? So
Yeah.
you only have the keys. Nothing else can make adjustments than your own wallet.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I appreciate that, man. That'll be awesome. And I'm sure I've just done it wrong, but appreciate that. I'll send that DM through to you. Thanks, Jack.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I just wanted to share something that I thought was pretty interesting for everybody that may find it interesting as well. There's a tax code called 1.165-2, and basically people could use that as a tax advantage to write off taxes 100% deductible if they burn or terminate crypto. And what's pretty cool about Zen is that you could burn Zen, but you would also like still benefit from burning it. So I just wanted to share that, just in case if anybody wants to take advantage of that, because I find it pretty interesting.
Yeah, and obviously for all the tax questions, please talk to your tax professional. No tax advice can be given, even by me. Well, obviously I'm not a tax professional, but it is a cool concept. It's not. It could be interpreted as an exchange, because the burn gives you the new token, these NFT. So it may be tricky to designate it as a disposition of the asset. So this is really up to, I guess, everybody's laws and how that works. But I could see it as a potential advantage for taxes. Who knows, right? But it's just, I mean, it's, you know how laws are. Laws generally are written in stone, but different laws can be interpreted differently. So that's not ever black and white. All right, I'll take two more questions before I gotta run and jump back into the code. So go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I got one quick question, real quick. Regarding the reflection token, do you have an idea of what the cap would be for the staking term?
The staking term is probably going to be uncapped, which means that you do not specify the days for staking. You can unstake at any time. So you can stake today, unstake tomorrow. But as long as you're staked, you're making yield.
So that's what makes it competitive. If you want to stake as long as you possibly can, that's where the competition you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. As soon as you unstake, you're leaving one of the or you're leaving some of the yield on the table for someone else to grab. So you're exiting the game, and somebody else will be making the yield, whoever is staking. So the longest staker gets the most optimal yield. That's the competition. Competition for time. And competition for burn is when you first engage within the contract.
It's a really good idea. Now, those yields that you would get from all the previous people that are unstaking, do you keep those yields, or are those forfeited to people who are still staking?
Whoever is staking will get the portion of the penalties for the earlier unstakes. So, like for example, let's say that you have a year horizon where you're staking, and then another person has 30 days horizon. So that person who unstakes within 30 days gives the most of the yield to you, because you have staked for 12 months longer. So
Okay.
they make some yield. They make some yield, but 70 or 80% of it will go to the longer term stakers.
Right, that makes sense. That sounds great, Jack. I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for your question.
Hey, I have a quick question. Now, do you guys have any information on these NFTs? Because I'm really interested in it, but don't know much about it. Where I can find the information?
Yes. So the white paper is linked off my Twitter profile. There's also an explainer, one pager. Zensu has Zenducation series that you can listen. This is probably the YouTube videos you should watch first. I would start with that. So just type in Zenducation with the XEN Education in YouTube, and you're gonna get Zensu's production right there.
All right, sounds great. I just don't want to bore you with questions because I had other questions, but I think I can probably find the answers out there. If not, I can always get a hold of HTN. She knows me, so either way, I appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, guys, come into the Telegram, Zen Crypto Talk. We have many people there, which will help you with everything you want to know.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I have to jet. You guys feel free to continue talking if you want to, but you know where to find me, and I'm always glad to come on the spaces with you.
Thank you, HDM, for hosting us. Appreciate it. It was amazing.
Yeah, and thanks Zensu for coming in and helping out with this education.
Zenducation. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I have to practice.
Cool, Jack. All the best, guys. See you
All
in the
right.
Telegram.
All the best. Talk soon. Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Ciao.